Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Fenix LD01 LED flashlight. Now right now you see it clipped to the bill of my ball cap, which is one of its many uses as a ball cap headlamp. But I want to do a quick review on it, go through some of the features and functions of the light, provide some beam shots for you guys, and show you some of the ways that I've used the light. So hope you guys enjoy the video, hope it's helpful in your purchasing decisions on whether you want to get this light. So stay tuned. Let's go ahead and get into this review. Now, as said in the intro, this is the Fenix LD01. Now this is a fairly popular EDC flashlight. In fact, it's one of the most popular AAA battery single cell flashlights. So before I made this review, I kind of thought to myself, do I have something to add to all the reviews that have already been posted? And if I was to say no, then I wouldn't do this review, because there's a lot of great reviews out there on this light. But there's a few things I want to add as far as how I've used this light, how it's been useful to me, and I just want to share my opinion of the light. As I just bumped the camera there, sorry about that. But so let's go ahead and look at the light. Now this is a single AAA battery light, very similar to other AAA lights like the Fenix E05, which was my primary EDC before the LD01. And I was kind of looking for a light with a little bit more brightness, a little bit more, few more settings on it. The E05 only had one single brightness mode, whereas the LD01 has 3 brightness modes. Now it starts off in your medium mode. It's a twist on. So you twist it on, and you have your medium mode. Your medium mode is running at 26 lumens, they say on the box. Then you twist it off and on again, you get your low mode. Your low mode is running at 3 lumens. And then you twist it off and on again, and then you got your high. And your high is at 72 lumens. So it's a twist on activation, starts off in medium, low, high. Now that's kind of a cool, I like the way the mode selection is on this light. I like twist on lights for my EDC. Usually that's what I carry. As far as the lumens go, I don't have a way to measure that. However, I will say that I find the medium, in my own eyes, it looks like the medium is much brighter than 26 lumens, although in all honesty there's no way for me to determine that, other than the fact that the difference between the medium and the high to me is not that great. The high is definitely brighter, but I wouldn't say that it's 3 times brighter. But again, that's each person's eye is going to see that differently. But it is a extremely bright light for a single AAA battery. Now, the kind of batteries that this light runs off of, like I said, is the AAA. You can use an alkaline AAA. I generally will use the lithium primaries, the Energizer lithiums. You can also use rechargeable nickel metal hydrate batteries, which will work fine in this light as well. The light is extremely lightweight, very, very lightweight. Without a battery, well, I'll weigh it for you with the pocket clip. Bring the old scale in here. You guys remember this, right? Turn the scale on. You are looking at, go over 2 ounces. Looking at about 0.6 ounces, so half an ounce, roughly half an ounce on it, between 0.6 and 0.7. You add in a battery and that doesn't add much at all. It's a extremely lightweight light, which I like a lot. I like lights that sit in your pocket or however you carry them, and they just kind of disappear because they don't have much weight at all. That's the best kind of EDC light for me. Really comfortable to carry. And as I was saying, it does come with a pocket clip, which is a very sturdy pocket clip. And in the intro, you guys actually saw me with this light clipped to the bill of my hat, my ball cap. So the way I did that, and the cool thing about this clip is that you can remove it and rotate it, put it on different places on the body. So instead of having it on the tail, which is how I usually carry it on my pocket or in my pocket, you can actually put the clip on the top of the flashlight. So you can have it clipped to a ball cap like that, so that the light is shining out in front of you as a headlamp. And so that's how I was doing it in the beginning of the video, and I will roll some footage of me doing that, showing how it works with the light on, which is a cool feature. I mean, if you're a backpacker or even if you're just an everyday person carrying a flashlight, if you don't have a headlamp with you or you want a backup headlamp, this is a great way to have it because this is your EDC light. You always have it. Battery life lasts a fairly long time with your low and medium mode. High mode, not very long, but it's a backup headlamp, and believe it or not, even just on a ball cap, even though it's not customizable as far as the angle of the beam, this has good spill on it. I mean, it still illuminates what you're looking at. You know, you break down in your car and you need to maybe change a spare tire in the middle of the night. Well, this would come in really handy to do that as a headlamp, hands-free lighting. So, or you're working on your engine, or you're just doing something around the house, around your yard, something like that. This just makes a great backup headlamp. And some people might use this as a primary headlamp. In my own personal use, I don't find it to be bright enough or the runtime to be good enough for me to use it as a primary headlamp, but I know some people do that. So that's one of the cool uses, the fact that this pocket clip is removable and it can go on opposite sides because the body's the same diameter on the tail cap, or the tail and the head of the flashlight. And I bumped the camera again. Got to stop doing that. But that's some of the cool features. Another cool thing about using a AAA style flashlight, and let me find my chapstick. If you guys watched my last backpacking trip video, the overnight video, the last video I did, you saw that as a tent, I use this light as a tent light. Now you could just turn this light on, hang it from somewhere in your tent, and use it as a tent light like that. But what I like to do is take a standard chapstick, take the cap off, and you can actually just fit the cap onto this light. And what this does is it creates a diffuser and just a completely even beam, diffused light, in like an area light. No hot spot at all like this. And that works really well as a tent light on the lowest mode. And I've used this a lot of different times. If you're working up close with something and you need some, you need an area light, or you just, maybe you're reading, like I said, in a tent and you want a really evenly diffused soft light, this works great. Now I'll go ahead and roll some footage at the end of the beam shots of this light in darkness to show how well it performs. And I'll also show how it performs with the diffuser on, or chapstick cap. What I want to say though is that if you're going to use something like this, a diffuser, you want to be really careful not to use the high mode or leave it running for too long if it's getting hot. When you place this cap over the head of the flashlight, it's going to create more heat, and it's not going to allow the heat to it's not going to allow the head of the flashlight to cool off at all. It's just going to be building up more and more heat. So you want to be careful with that. But I will say that on the low mode, I've used this overnight in a tent on more than one occasion with no issues at all. The light didn't get hot at all. But I do want to say that if you're going to do that, just be careful. And don't run the high mode with a diffuser like that. Now, I was talking about output of the light, or excuse me, runtime on the outputs. And I find these ratings to be a little bit far stretched on this light. I do. I think Fenix overestimated the runtime on the high especially. Now, they state that the high will run for an hour and 28 minutes on a standard alkaline battery. I find that it doesn't run quite that long. You may see an hour out of it, but I find that it's usually closer to 45 minutes to an hour for me before I got to jump down, change the battery out. Now on the medium mode, it's claiming that it'll run for 3 hours 8 minutes. I think that that's fairly accurate. The low mode, it's saying that it'll run for 27 hours. And I find that accurate too, because I've been camping with it and had this light running for at least 12 hours and no problems at all. It's not drawing very much when it's running on the low mode. Will it run for 27 hours? I haven't tested that, but I know for sure it'll run for 12 hours. So that's one way of looking at it. Now, as far as the size, you guys kind of saw the Fenix E05 next to it. They're very similar in size. The E05 is a little bit smaller, not nearly as bright. This is only, I think this is in the 20 lumens, this flashlight, but there's only one mode on this. This light is a little bit more affordable than the LD01. And I'm not going to mention price in the video. I will annotate it because I don't know off the top of my head. That's one thing I forgot to check. So I will put that in the video, how much it costs currently. And I usually buy my lights at Amazon if I can, because I find their prices to be fairly cheap and competitive with other retailers as well. That's just what's affordable for me. So you can take a look at this light, see if it's something that you use or could need. For me, it's great as my EDC primary flashlight or a backup headlamp in an emergency, or if it's all you had, it works great as hands-free lighting if you're wearing a baseball cap. But overall, I really do like the light. It's a great flashlight. I do recommend it if you're looking at AAA battery flashlights. And that's about it for the review, guys. What I'm going to go ahead and do is do some beam shot comparisons between this flashlight and the Fenix E05 in the dark, and also show you how it looks with the diffuser on in the dark. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys stay tuned for the beam shots. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the beam shots for the Fenix LD01. Now I do want to say we're looking at a hallway here of 20 feet. I'm using a camera with exposure lock on, so it will not adjust for the brightness of the lights. It will stay, the exposure is locked. So here we go, the Fenix LD01 on its medium mode. This is a fresh Energizer lithium battery inside of the light. So there you have it. It's in the 20 lumen range. I don't want to remember the exact. It's very bright, has a nice beam on it in my opinion. Still has spill with a nice hot spot. Turn it off, turn it back on. There's your low mode. Not sure if you're seeing this on the camera, but it is on. Look at my hand here in front of the camera. As you can see, the light's on. That's your 3 lumen mode. Nice beam on this, really nice beam. Then we turn it off and on one more time, and you got your high mode of 70 in the 70 lumen range, which is extremely bright. Lights up this entire 20-foot hallway really well. Now just for a comparison, I'm going to take the Fenix E05, turn that on. Here's the LD01 on top, E05 on bottom, just to give you a comparison. E05 on the right, LD01 on the left. So that kind of gives you a comparison of the lights. And again, this is an extremely bright flashlight. Goes much further than this 20-foot hallway for sure. Just a really, really great flashlight. Now the last thing I want to do is I'm going to put on the Chap Stick Diffuser on this light. Let me show you. Here's the light. Right there. There we go. So I will turn it on. Technical difficulties here. I was holding the other light with my mouth. Alright, so here it is on the low mode, the diffuser. Kind of looks cool out there. It's lighting up the whole hallway. I can see with my eyes, but I know for sure you're not going to see it on camera. But there it is on its highest mode. You can kind of see how it's lighting up. Let me go ahead and show my hand out here. Look at how much light that's putting out on the high mode. Tons of light. And even there's your low mode. Even on the low mode you can see that it's a completely diffused beam on my hand in front of the camera there, as you can see. But there it is on the high mode with the diffuser, extremely bright, throws out a lot of light, really diffuses a whole area. There it is on medium, still plenty of light. It's lighting up this whole hallway, even though I know you're not going to see it on the camera. But just a really useful light. A lot of different ways you can use this light. If you're looking for an EDC light, I really recommend it. I highly recommend it. Definitely check out the Fenix LD01 and see if it fits your needs. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helped. I'll see you guys on the next one.